Have you ever considered that some of your daily routines might be subtly shortening your life? Most of us tend to focus on the obvious threats: serious illnesses, major accidents, or unhealthy habits like smoking. However, the reality is that seemingly insignificant, everyday practices, often linked to aging, can be the most detrimental, and we're often completely unaware of their impact. What's even more surprising is that many of these harmful habits aren't even on most people's radar. Today, we'll explore 8 such silent lifespan thieves, subtle patterns and choices that can accumulate over time, potentially costing you valuable years. You might expect to hear about things like late nights, and yes, that's on our list, but it's only number 3. The number 1 culprit is likely to astonish you, as it has nothing to do with diet, sleep, or exercise. It's something many of us carry for decades without realizing the damage it's causing. Stick with me until the end, because I'm not only going to reveal these 8 hidden dangers, but also explain how they affect your health, your relationships, and your overall quality of life. More importantly, I'll provide actionable steps you can take today to reverse these trends. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still don't feel your best, or if you're simply curious about what more you can do to safeguard your body and mind as you age, this information will offer a fresh and vital perspective. Let's begin. Number 1, suppressing your emotions. It might seem unlikely that your emotions could shave years off your life, but they absolutely can. The act of holding in anger, burying grief, or pretending you're okay when you're not, these seemingly quiet habits can take a heavy toll on your body. Over time, repressed feelings trigger chronic stress responses, leading to elevated blood pressure, inflammation, and a weakened immune system. Because the damage accumulates gradually, most people never connect the dots until a significant health issue arises. Many of us were raised to be stoic, to suck it up, or to keep our feelings to ourselves, particularly those of older generations. We were often taught that expressing emotions was a sign of weakness. However, we now know better. Scientific evidence has repeatedly shown that emotional suppression can shorten lifespan as significantly as smoking or inadequate sleep. It can manifest as ulcers, persistent fatigue, heart disease, and memory problems. The brain and body can only endure so much silence before they begin to communicate through symptoms. I recall a gentleman named Arthur, who was 81 years old. He lost his wife after 50 years of marriage. He never cried, never spoke about his grief. He simply said he was managing. Within 6 months, he developed chronic headaches, insomnia, and severe stomach problems. It wasn't until his daughter gently encouraged him to join a grief support group at the local community center that his health began to improve. He later told me, "I didn't realize how much I was holding in until I heard myself say it out loud." Sometimes, healing doesn't begin until the words finally come. This isn't just about grief. It applies to everyday life. Suppressing anger, masking fear, or carrying regret, shame, or guilt without release, these emotions eat away at you from the inside out. They keep your nervous system on high alert, disrupt your sleep, hinder digestion, and impair your body's natural ability to repair itself. Emotional honesty isn't self-indulgent. It's essential for survival. So, what can you do? Start by paying attention to your feelings. When something upsets you, don't push it down. Write it down. Talk to someone you trust. You don't need to turn your life into a therapy session, but you do need to create space to be human. Even 10 minutes of quiet reflection each day can significantly reduce internal pressure. And over time, this can translate to increased energy, improved health, and yes, even a longer life. Expressing your feelings doesn't make you less strong. It makes you more whole. And the more whole you are, the more years you're likely to enjoy, not just endure. Number 2, neglecting close relationships. One of the most powerful predictors of longevity isn't your diet or exercise regimen. It's the strength of your connections with the people around you. Yeah, as we age, it's incredibly easy to let these relationships fade. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and family members become preoccupied with their own lives. Before you know it, you're spending more time alone than with others. This quiet isolation, whether physical or emotional, can start to steal years from your life. Loneliness isn't just unpleasant, it's toxic. Researchers now equate chronic loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It weakens your immune system, elevates blood pressure, increases inflammation, and makes you more susceptible to a range of health problems, from dementia to heart disease. What makes loneliness so dangerous is its insidious nature. You don't have to live alone to feel lonely. You simply have to feel unseen, unheard, or disconnected. I once knew a woman named Eleanor, who was 77 years old. She had family nearby and neighbors who offered friendly greetings, but she confessed that no one truly knew what her days were like. "I go to the store. I smile at people, but no one really talks to me," she said. She didn't want to burden anyone, so she kept her interactions polite and superficial. It wasn't until she joined a local volunteer group just once a week that she realized how much she had been craving genuine connection. Her energy levels soared, her sleep improved, and she started laughing again. All it took was finding one place where she could be herself, not just be polite. Relationships don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Even a single meaningful connection can significantly improve your health and extend your life. This could be a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, or even someone you meet through a shared interest. What truly matters is present someone who listens, someone who cares if you're having a difficult day, someone who reminds you that you matter. If it's been a while since you've had a real conversation, one that goes beyond the weather and delves into how you're truly feeling, reach out. Write a letter, make a call, join a small group, even if it feels awkward at first. It's never too late to rebuild your social circle. And the reward isn't just feeling better today, it's adding more tomorrows. Connection isn't a luxury, it's a form of medicine. And the more you cultivate it, the more life you give back to yourself. Number 3, consistently staying up late. You've likely heard that sleep is crucial, but many people underestimate the extent to which consistently staying up late, night after night, can gradually erode your lifespan. We're not talking about the occasional late night. We're referring to a pattern, a habit of pushing sleep aside to watch one more episode, scroll a little longer, or catch up on tasks that could have waited until morning. Over time, this pattern quietly weakens your body in ways that often go unnoticed until it's too late. When you consistently stay up late, you're not just reducing your sleep duration, you're disrupting your circadian rhythm. This is your internal clock that regulates when your body should rest, repair, and recover. When this clock is out of sync, everything else begins to falter: your immune system, your metabolism, your memory, and even your mood. Sleep isn't just rest, it's restoration. Without sufficient sleep, particularly the deep, early night sleep, your body starts to break down prematurely. There was a man I once knew named Gregory, who was 74 years old. He used to joke that he'd sleep when he was dead. He stayed up past midnight every night, reading news articles and sometimes playing online card games. It seemed harmless. However, over the years, his energy levels plummeted, he became more susceptible to colds, and he eventually developed heart problems, which his doctor attributed to chronic sleep disruption. By the time he attempted to correct his sleep habits, some of the damage had already been done. "I didn't think it mattered," he confessed, "until it did." And the damage isn't always physical. Poor sleep impairs judgment, focus, and emotional resilience. You become irritable, forgetful, and slower to react. It chips away at the sharpness and calm you need to navigate life effectively. Over time, this makes everything feel more challenging. If you've developed a habit of staying up late, you don't need to make drastic changes overnight. Start small. Try moving your bedtime back by just 15 minutes. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Use softer lighting in the evening. Your body naturally wants to sleep. It's wired to heal during this time. You simply need to provide the right conditions. And remember, sleep isn't wasted time. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your brain, your heart, and your lifespan. The earlier you sleep, the more time your body has to repair the wear and tear of the day. It's not a luxury, it's essential. And when you honor it, your body honors you in return. Number 4, skipping regular checkups. Many people reach a certain age and begin to think, "I've lived this long, I must be doing something right." While there's some truth to that, it can also become a dangerous trap. Skipping your regular medical checkups because you feel fine might seem harmless, but this decision could quietly cost you valuable years. By the time you experience symptoms, a condition may already be advanced. This is what makes this habit so insidious. It's not about the symptoms you notice, but the silent problems you don't. After the age of 60, your body changes more rapidly than you might realize. Blood pressure rises more easily, bones thin, vision deteriorates, and certain cancers can develop silently, without early warning signs. While many of these issues are manageable when detected early, they can become life-altering or even life-threatening if left untreated. A brief 10-minute test could be the difference between simple treatment and major intervention. I once met a man named Lawrence, who was 76 years old. He hadn't seen a doctor in over a decade. "I hate hospitals," he said. "I won't go unless something is broken." One day, he fainted while walking his dog. It turned out he had undiagnosed diabetes and dangerously low blood pressure. His condition was treatable, but the delay made his recovery more difficult than it needed to be. "If I had just gone in sooner," he told me, "I wouldn't have scared my family half to death." Checkups aren't solely about detecting disease. They're also about providing peace of mind. A simple blood test can offer reassurance. A basic heart scan might reveal early risks, and an eye exam can help prevent falls. These appointments aren't overreactions. They're acts of self-respect, and they're also an expression of love. When you take care of your health, you're also taking care of the people who depend on you, your spouse, your children, your friends. You're communicating, "I'm still invested in this. I still care about my future." This message is more important than you know. So don't wait until something feels wrong. Prevention is quiet, but so is danger. Schedule the appointment, ask the questions, get the necessary scans. You don't need to go overboard, you simply need to stay informed. Because when it comes to your health, what you don't know truly can hurt you. Number 5, sitting for extended periods each day. You might believe that sitting is harmless, but in reality, excessive sitting can quietly erode your health, like a slow leak that goes unnoticed until significant damage is done. Even if you exercise daily, prolonged periods of sitting, especially in one position without breaks, can increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, blood clots, and even premature death. What's worse, you often don't feel the negative effects until years later. Modern life is structured around sitting. We sit to eat, to read, to relax, to watch, and to wait. However, the human body wasn't designed for stillness. It was designed for movement. When your body remains idle for too long, your circulation slows, your metabolism decreases, and inflammation increases. This combination can silently affect every system in your body, from your brain to your bones. I recall a man named Gerald who was 79 years old. He took pride in his daily walk around the block. However, aside from that, he spent most of his day in his recliner, watching the news, playing solitaire, and dozing off. Over time, his ankles began to swell, his blood sugar levels crept up, and he felt increasingly sluggish. His doctor advised him, "It's not just about the walk. It's about what your body is doing for the other 23 hours of the day." The solution doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need to run marathons or join a gym. Simply stand up every hour, stretch your arms, walk around the house, or do a few heel raises at the sink. Even light activity can help reactivate your circulation and protect your joints and muscles. These small movements, repeated frequently, provide real protection. Also, be mindful of the environments that encourage prolonged stillness. Your favorite chair might be comfortable, but if it keeps you in one place for hours, it could be quietly stealing your vitality. Make it a rule to take a few steps after each meal. Stand up during commercials while watching television. Set reminders on your phone or leave sticky notes as visual cues. Your body needs gentle nudges, and it will thank you for each one. Staying active isn't about maintaining youth, it's about promoting longevity. And the more you move, the longer and stronger your life becomes, not just in years, but in quality. Because movement, no matter how small, is a vote for staying engaged in life. And it's never too late to begin. Number 6, eating while distracted. For many of us, mealtime used to be an event, something we sat down for, focused on, and perhaps even shared with others. However, over time, these boundaries have blurred. The television stays on, phones come to the table, and meals become rushed or secondary to other activities. When this happens frequently enough, eating becomes an automatic process, and that's where the problem begins. When you eat without paying attention, your body becomes confused. You chew faster, swallow more air, and often consume more food than you realize. You don't register fullness properly, you don't savor your food, and you lose the ability to discern what your body truly needs. This mindless eating pattern often leads to weight gain, blood sugar spikes, poor digestion, and long-term metabolic issues. This isn't necessarily because the food is unhealthy, but because the way you're eating disconnects you from your body's signals. I once met a woman named Teresa, who was 73 years old. She had gained nearly 20 pounds over 2 years. She didn't eat fast food or snack constantly, but she had developed a habit of eating all her meals in front of the television every day. I don't even remember finishing most of my plates, she confessed. When she began turning off the television and eating at the table again, her eating habits changed. She ate more slowly, felt full sooner, and started losing weight without altering her diet. Mindful eating doesn't have to be complicated. It simply means slowing down and being present. Take a moment to look at your food, smell it, and chew it thoroughly. Put your fork down between bites. Ask yourself if you're still hungry halfway through your meal. These small pauses bring your awareness back to the present moment and help your body do what it's designed to do, signal when you've had enough. There's another dimension to this. Eating with intention not only benefits your physical health, but also your emotional well-being. When you give your meals the respect of your full attention, it sends a message to your brain. This matters. I matter. This shift can reduce stress, improve digestion, and transform eating from a mere act of fueling your body into a nourishing experience. So if meals have become something you rush through, reclaim them. Turn off distractions, sit down, even if it's just for 10 minutes, and savor your food. You'll be surprised at how quickly your body responds and how much more energy and mental clarity you experience throughout the day. Number 7, living with constant noise. You might not consider noise a health issue, but the truth is that constant background noise can gradually take a toll on your body in ways you might not expect. Whether it's the television playing all day, traffic outside your window, or the hum of appliances, your brain and body register every sound, even when you're not consciously aware of it. Chronic noise keeps your nervous system slightly activated, like an engine that never fully shuts off. Your heart rate remains slightly elevated, your blood pressure creeps up, and your sleep becomes lighter. Over time, this subtle tension accumulates, potentially leading to fatigue, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, and an increased risk of heart disease. Because it feels normal, most people never realize how much better they could feel without it. I knew a man named Samuel, who was 78 years old. He kept the television on from morning until night, simply for company, he said. However, he often felt tense, experienced headaches, and struggled to sleep through the night. His doctor couldn't pinpoint a specific cause. Then, one day during a power outage, he spent the evening in complete silence. It was the first time in years my head felt clear, he told me. After that, he began turning off the television for a few hours each day. He started sleeping more soundly, his blood pressure improved, and he rediscovered the pleasure of reading. Noise doesn't have to be loud to be harmful. It simply has to be constant. When your ears and brain never get a break, your entire system begins to wear down. This is why periods of quiet are so essential, not just during sleep, but also during waking hours. Time without chatter, without buzzing, without background distractions. Time for your body to reset. Try this. Designate 1 hour each day for complete silence. Turn off the television and your phone and allow the quiet to fill the space. If possible, step outside and listen to natural sounds, birdsong, the wind, your own breath. These moments allow your nervous system to exhale, signaling to your body that you're safe and can rest. Over time, these periods of quiet protect your heart, your mind, and your lifespan. You don't need to live in complete silence, but you do need to create space for stillness. Just as your muscles need recovery after exercise, your brain needs recovery from sound. And that quiet might be precisely what helps you hear what your body has been trying to communicate all along. Number 8, always keeping the lights on at night. It might seem harmless to keep a hallway light on, fall asleep with the television glowing, or leave a lamp on throughout the night. However, these seemingly small habits can quietly disrupt your health. Your body operates on a natural rhythm, an internal clock that governs when you sleep, when you wake, and when you heal. This rhythm is regulated by light and darkness. When you blur the lines between night and day, your body pays the price. Artificial light at night, particularly blue light emitted from screens and bright bulbs, confuses your brain. It signals to your body that it's still daytime, which delays the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, weakens your sleep quality, and disrupts hormonal balance. Over time, this disruption can affect everything from your metabolism to your immune system. It has even been linked to a higher risk of certain cancers, heart disease, and diabetes. The issue isn't the light itself, but its effect on your internal clock. I once met a woman named Lydia, who was 80 years old. She had struggled with sleep for over a decade, attributing it to aging. However, during a wellness seminar, she learned about circadian rhythm disruption and decided to make a simple change. She began turning off all artificial lights by 9:00 p.m. and replaced her bedside lamp with a softer, amber-toned bulb. Within 2 weeks, she started falling asleep faster and staying asleep more soundly. Her mood improved, her digestion improved, and she said, "I didn't realize how tired I was until I finally rested." Sleep isn't solely about the duration of time spent in bed. It's also about the signals your body receives beforehand. If your brain perceives it as daytime, it won't release the necessary chemicals for winding down. When this pattern is repeated for years, the cumulative damage can quietly steal your energy, mental clarity, and even years from your life. To protect yourself, start small. Dim your lights an hour before bedtime. Use warm, soft lighting. Avoid screens or use a blue light filter. Cover electronic displays. Make your bedroom as dark and quiet as possible. If you need a nightlight for safety, choose one with a red or amber bulb rather than white or blue. Your body thrives on rhythm. When you honor this rhythm, you give yourself the best possible chance to heal, restore, and grow stronger with age. Because a good night's sleep isn't just restful, it's regenerative. And providing your body with true darkness might be one of the most unexpected yet powerful gifts you can offer for a longer, healthier life. In conclusion, as we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on which of these 8 habits might have subtly infiltrated your own life. Were you surprised by the ranking of certain habits? While many people focus on staying up late or skipping checkups, it's often the less obvious patterns, such as suppressed emotions or excessive noise, that carry the greatest weight. The encouraging news is that none of these habits are irreversible. Every single one can be modified. And the moment you become aware of them, the power dynamic shifts. That's when you begin to reclaim your time, energy, and health. So, which habit will you address this week? Perhaps you'll reach out to someone you've lost touch with, start turning off the lights a little earlier, or finally schedule that doctor's appointment you've been postponing. These changes don't need to be monumental to be meaningful. Small steps, taken consistently and with care, can lead to significant results. You deserve a long life, but more importantly, you deserve a good one, clear, connected, calm, and filled with purpose. These 8 habits may have been silently stealing from you without your consent, but now that you're aware of them, you have the power to stop them. Thank you for joining me today. I encourage you to leave a comment below and share one key takeaway from this discussion and how you intend to apply it in your own life. Your insights are valuable, so please don't hesitate to share them. Your comments provide great motivation and encouragement. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows us to continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.